This video will show you how to take your individual puzzle part pieces and assemble them into a puzzle cube. Once you have all 5 of your puzzle pieces created, and you'll notice I only have 2 created here just for demonstration purposes, you'll have all 5 of yours to put together into a full puzzle block. We're going to create another assembly similar to what you did before, only this time when I place, I'm going to place my puzzle pieces. So I'm going to place the green piece, and I'm going to place the red piece. If you want to place all 5 of your pieces at once, you can, or as you constrain them together, you can add them one at a time. Now, you'll notice I can move the green and the red piece all over the screen. This could be useful, or it could actually start causing you problems, because as you start combining these puzzle pieces, your direction and your orientation may get confusing as to where pieces go. I recommend that you right-click on one of your pieces and you ground it. It doesn't really matter which piece you use, as long as the orientation that you are thinking of your puzzle, you're basing all of your orientation off of the grounded piece. So now you'll notice that I've grounded this. I can't move it anymore. I can still move the red piece. Now I'm going to constrain these 2 pieces together. You really want to have a good understanding of how your puzzle goes together before you start constraining the pieces. You don't want any questions as to what parts of the different puzzle pieces are supposed to go together, because as you start constraining it, things could get confusing. Now, I want the piece up here on the red piece to fit into this slot on the green piece, with the main body of the red piece coming back in this direction. I'm going to come up here to constrain, and I'm going to start with a make constraint. Now I know that I want this surface of the red block, and make sure you're on the surface of it, to mate constraint with this surface on the green block. Now, I'm going to apply this. Notice that even though they're constrained together with the 2 surfaces together, they're not in the orientation that I want them. I can still move the red back and forth all over the place. I actually need the red to rotate in order to fully fit into that spot. To make that happen, I also need to do a flush constraint, where this surface of the green is going to flush with this surface of the red. You notice now that by clicking on those 2 surfaces, I've locked the red in this orientation. It's now constrained. I can only move it left and right. I can no longer move it up and down or front and back. So I have 1 constraint left. Now, I've talked before about being careful of what surfaces and what edges you're choosing. This is why. If I come here to do a make constraint, I can make constraint that edge with this edge of that block. There are other ways that I could have constrained this block. If I cancel this, I could have also constrained this block doing a flush constraint. I can flush constrain this surface of the block with this surface of the green block. I'm getting to the same point either way. If you make a mistake doing one of your constraints, if you click over here in your toolbar, you can see everything that you've done up to this point. So I've done a make constraint and 2 flush constraints. Let's say I don't like this last flush constraint, and I click on it, and if I right click on it, I can delete it. Notice it disappeared on both blocks because they're constraining to each other. So now I can come back and grab this again and move it. So I have to redo that constraint. So I'm going to constrain, flush this surface with that surface. And now it's locked in. At this point, you can add your next puzzle piece, or you could, nope, I guess that's all you can do. Zeroing it.